Have you ever walked into a place that is so silent that it kind of echoes your own doubts? I bet you have. I have. Today I found myself in this abandoned house that had been left for decay. There were some beautiful animals that I think live there now, and this all reminded me of the isolation that we might feel sometimes, even though we are sharing our world, our content online and everywhere. But maybe, just maybe, isolation isn't just emptiness. Decay isn't just destruction. Maybe it's also a place to grow, a possibility. That abandoned house became my canvas for exploring isolation. Each photo, a broken window, a lone kitchenware, became a metaphor for the creative journey. Isolation isn't just a challenge, it's a tool. It sharpens your vision, forces you to see what others overlook, and makes every connection more meaningful. Today I want to give you 3 steps how you can level up your YouTube strategy. I realized creating YouTube videos just for myself, that wasn't really enough, and that takes me to step 1. I think we should rethink how we look at the content we are creating. We should rethink it from what do I want to do to how do I solve problems for people that are watching this. So the focus shifts from me to you who is watching this. So what I did was I started collecting questions. I started reading comment sections in other people's videos. I started discussing with AI what are the problems that the group that I want to work with, what are the problems they are struggling with, and how can I help you? And going into that abandoned house kind of reminded me of just that. Going into a room, seeing something new, wondering how I can look at this from a perspective that gives me energy. How can I look at this decay from a beautiful standpoint? Is there a place where the sun hits so that I can take this beautiful photo out of this chaos that was there? I think it's quite the same when we're looking for solutions to our problems. We need to change perspectives, we need to ask for help, we need to do these things. And by doing it, we'll find something new. We see things differently. Maybe we see people differently as well. Just as I use my platform to address your struggles, I used the eerie emptiness of the house to experiment with composition, framing emptiness to evoke emotion, light, using shadows and shafts of sunlight to highlight vulnerability, and storytelling, letting the decay speak for itself. So when you know what kind of problems the people that you are creating content for has, or what they are struggling with, when I know what kind of problems I want to solve, this takes us to number 2. How do we solve the problems? So the problems that I saw that we often need to solve as a photographers or as people is often, as the great philosopher and I think psychiatrists said every problem is a interpersonal problem. So I think a lot of the things that we want to solve as photographers has a lot to do with communication. Another thing that I do to figure out what kind of problems we want to solve and also how to solve them is that I ask you guys on social media. I do polls. I try to ask a lot of questions. So if you go into my Instagram, for instance, very often under the photo in the comments there is a question, because by getting to know you I will get better and better at helping you to solve the problems that you need to be solved, that you need to have solved. My journey to rethink YouTube and experience in the abandoned house are really the same story. Both are about confronting isolation, listening deeply, and finding purpose in service. When I step into your shoes, whether through your questions or through the lens in a forgotten place, I'm reminded that we are all searching for connection and meaning, even when we feel alone. Number 3, I don't think we should do anything if we don't feel we are getting something. Because that's kind of, at least for me, it's the fuel. So number 3 is, what's in it for me? I think in every successful business, in every successful whatever we do, relationship, there is some sort of a win-win. That doesn't mean that every single thing has to be equally win for me, equally win for you. But in the longer run, I think we all need a win-win. We need to feel that there is, like, that we gain something and that the other person gains something. So in the end, I think that rethinking my YouTube strategy and going into that abandoned building, they are quite the same. It's like going in, seeing what's happening, figure out, like, if you have to be careful about where you put your steps, then you have to do that. Sometimes it's easier to move, sometimes it's more difficult. Sometimes you need new perspectives to grow, sometimes you need new ways to move. And sometimes we just need to stop and listen deeply. Because then, when the time is right, we will find the answers to the questions that we are looking for. So have you ever found yourself in a place where you have had to stop and think, what way should I go now? What kind of place has that been? Has it been in choosing the right lens for your camera? Or has it been, should I do landscape or should I do street? Please share that in the comments below. I would love to hear and discuss with you the things that you are thinking of a lot while out with your camera. The things you would like to have answers to. And the things that I can help you with. And if you want even more content behind the scenes, if you want free gifts, if you want to have even more contact with me and my thoughts around photography, please sign up to the newsletter. Link to that in the description down below as well. I want to end this discussion with you with one important thing that I have learned in life, but also by looking at that horrible decay of a house. And that is, decay, it's not the end. It's the start of something new. When everything feels really dark, there will be a light. And if you feel isolated, if you feel lonely, there is help to get. I've been there. Sometimes I feel lonely as well. Sometimes I feel isolated and lost. By asking for help, well, It's difficult, but it's a game changer. So ask for help and don't give up your daydream.